back to Jessfashion101. Today I have a review that I've been waiting to do for a little while just because I wanted to have an opinion for myself on these products, just because I was very skeptical of them because I saw them way too much on YouTube, and I thought that sometimes when you think that something is way too hyped up or so many YouTubers are talking about that, you're kind of like, are these people getting paid? You don't believe them and you don't feel like they have an opinion for themselves. This review is on the Morphe palette, the 350 palette, the one that is always sold out online. As you can see, it's very warm and it has all the colors that I tend to use on an everyday basis. For me personally, I thought it was going to be a very good buy. I was going to buy a bunch of their products online for a very, very long time, but every time I went online, either their products were sold out, wanted to see these products in person and touch them and look at all their range just so that I can make my decision and not have to do it online. And I'm not like that because I'm a huge online shopper, but for this, for some reason, I really wanted to go to the store. So it was very simple for me. I actually work about 5 minutes away from the Glendale, California Morphe store, which is the only Morphe store that they have physically, brick and mortar. That was very lucky for me because I actually don't live in that area. I live pretty far, but it's right next to my job, and I said, hey, one day after work I'm just gonna go and pick up some of their products. So I did pick up some of their brushes, and I picked up the 350 palette because it's what catered to me the most, and like I said, it had the best colors, and just I knew it was gonna be a palette that I was gonna use, and I felt really inspired by it. I definitely don't want you guys to think that this is a review where it's just very, very biased. I really did wait a while before I posted this review. I have used this quite a while, and I see myself reaching for it more and more and more. So number one, I really like the color range in this palette. I feel like they did a really good job. There's a lot more matte colors than shimmery colors, but there is a perfect amount of shimmery colors for you to still play with and use on the mid part of your lid. So that is one thing that I really like, because sometimes neutral palettes like the Naked 2 or the L'Oreal Nudes palette or any other type of nude palette tends to have a lot more shimmery colors than matte colors, and sometimes you need the matte colors a lot more, and you need a lot of transition colors because that's what you use the most if you're gonna do any type of eye look. Number two, these shadows are amazing to blend. I have never had shadows that blend so well. I have MAC shadows, I have ColourPop shadows, I have NYX shadows, I have L'Oreal shadows, I have Urban Decay Tarte, so many shadows, and to be honest, these shadows are the best. It's the best blendability that I have ever had owned in my life. I know I have a lot more to try, but out of the brands that I just mentioned that I do own, they are amazing to blend. And sometimes that's what you want, because if you can't blend out a product, then there's no way that you can layer on top of them, or there's no way that you can basically add on top to make it the desired amount of how dark or light you want to go or how smoky you want to go. So the fact that they're so blendable is amazing to me because I'm not a professional, so I do have trouble doing my makeup sometimes, and this makes it super easy. Anytime I want to do an actual look or I'm running late, this is super easy to blend it. I know I'm going to get it done right away, and it's not going to take me an hour to do. So that's another thing I really do appreciate from this palette. I also noticed, I mean, I did pick up some of the Morphe brushes, which work amazing with this palette too, but I have other cheap brushes that worked really well with this type of color and pigment and all the shadows. So any type of brushes that you have will work perfectly with this palette. Sometimes I find with certain type of consistencies of powders or pigments or shadows, you need to use a very specific brush, or sometimes synthetic doesn't work as well. Or I'll give you a quick example. The ColourPop eyeshadows are adorable, they're affordable, they're amazing, I still love them, but sometimes I do struggle to get the pigmentation that I want, and I end up just using my finger because I don't get what I want with a brush, just because their consistency is powdery but not, if you know what I mean. I mean, you'll know if you own a ColourPop shadow. Also tried this palette with no primer, and the shadows stayed on really well. I was very impressed. Not as long as when you wear a primer, but they did last very long, like more than I expected. I think they stayed on about 5 hours without creasing, but I do have a very defined crease, so if you don't have a very defined crease, you might even get away with not wearing any primer primer. So that's another little thing that I really did like. A lot of these shadows, like the colors down here, also double up like a contour on the side of your face if you want to like make something really chiseled. And then I've also used these colors right here to highlight. It's very versatile. There was nothing wrong that I could find out about this palette, and I just wanted to share that with you guys and let you guys know that it's just something you guys should definitely invest in. I know it's always sold out, but if you guys are ever in the SoCal area and you guys end up going to the LA area, it's not that far from downtown LA or Hollywood. Amazing to go drop by at the store. It's a little tiny store. You would never expect this store sells so much product and is so successful because it's literally in like a little tiny shopping center. Like you could miss it if you're not looking for it. Alright, I hope you guys really enjoyed this little review that I created for you for the Morphe 350 palette. I just really wanted to share my opinion about these products, especially their shadows, just because they exceeded my expectations and I wanted to share that with you guys. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more reviews on other products, and all my social media is listed down below so you guys can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, all listed down below. Once again, hope you guys enjoyed this. Toodles!